Now, till now, we have seen how force acts. Means to give motion to the stationary object, we have to apply force. We are applying force means there is change in that object. If there is object which is in motion, if we apply the force, suppose we apply the brakes, it will stop. In nature, a force is not single. It is action and reaction force. The third law of motion tells us about the action and reaction forces. The force never occurs alone. It is occurring in pairs. So the third law of motion tells us that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, or every action force has an equal and opposite reaction force, and which act simultaneously. Suppose we are hitting the ball with the help of the bat. So velocity of ball increases, but the velocity of bat somewhat decreases. Then suppose you are firing a bullet from the gun. If you observe it carefully, the velocity of bullet increases, but the gun is pushed somewhat backwards. That is called the recoiling of the gun. So in nature, the force never exists alone. There are the forces which are in pairs. They are called the action and reaction forces. Action and reaction are terms that express force. So every action force has an equal and opposite reaction force which acts simultaneously. Suppose there is an accident, two buses or two trucks, they hit each other, they collide with each other, and what happens that we know there is change in velocity, there is change in acceleration, there is change in mass of the object whatsoever. After collision, but total momentum of both the objects remains same. That also is called the law of conservation of momentum, and it is occurring in between the two objects. The momentum before collision and the momentum after collision is same. Suppose we are taking the two objects, object A and object B. Mass of object A is m1 and its initial velocity is u1. Mass of object B is m2 and its initial velocity is u2. Now the initial momentum you know, mass into velocity. The initial momentum of A is m1 u1 and the initial momentum of B is m2 u2. Now what is happening? They are colliding with each other. Means A, suppose this A is giving force on B after collision. Similarly, simultaneously, B will also give force on A, because forces never exist alone. They are acting simultaneously. Action and reaction forces, they are acting simultaneously. The A and B, they collide with each other. The force on A, what is force on A, is due to B. B is hitting it, colliding it, that causes force on A. So that force is F1. This force will cause acceleration in A. Force causes velocity. Change in velocity means acceleration, and its velocity will become now v1 after collision. Similarly, the momentum of A after collision will be m1 v1. Initial momentum of A was m1 u1. After collision, the momentum of A is m1 v1. So A and B, they are colliding with each other. The momentum of A before collision is m1 u1 and the momentum of A after collision is m1 v1. Now as A is applying force on B, means B is also applying force on A, or B is applying force on A, collision is taking place, A is applying also force on B. So according to Newton's third law of motion, A also exerts equal force on B, but in the opposite direction. They are in collision taking place in this way. So A is applying force in this direction, B is applying force in this direction. Means they are equal and opposite. So total initial momentum is equal to total final momentum that we have studied. So in the opposite direction, this will cause a change in the momentum of B. Its velocity after collision is v2. So V initial velocity u2, final velocity v2. If F2 is the force that acts on B, so F2 is equal to minus F1. These two forces are equal and opposite. As equal and opposite forces are there, F2 is equal to minus F1. Now, once again, the initial velocity, initial momentum of the object A is m1 u1. The final momentum of A is m1 v1. Similarly, of B, the initial momentum is m2 u2 and the final momentum is m2 v2. These forces are acting opposite to each other. So we are writing here F2 is equal to minus F1. F2 is equal to minus F1. F2, now you know, F is equal to m into A. We have seen in the second law. F2 is equal to m2a2 and F1 is equal to m1a1. F is equal to m into A. Minus, that is they are equal and opposite. So we have written minus here. Now you know acceleration is equal to change in velocity upon time. That again I am writing here. A2 is equal to v2 minus u2, change in velocity upon time. A1 is equal to v1 minus u1 upon time, that is change in velocity upon time. Now this t and this t getting cancelled, or this will come to this side, t will cancel. Now what remains? M2 v2 minus u2 is equal to minus m1 v1 minus u1. So multiply by m2 to the v2 minus u2. m2 v2 minus m2 u2 is equal to minus m1 v1 minus plus m1 u1. m2 v2 minus m2 u2 minus m1 v1 plus m1 u1. Now this minus will come to this side, will become plus. This minus will go to this side, this will become plus. So m2 v2 plus m1, this minus taking to this side, m1 v1, and this minus will go to this side. So m1 u1 plus m2 u2. Now this is the total initial momentum and this is total final momentum. So the magnitude of total final momentum is equal to the magnitude of total initial momentum. Means when there is momentum, force is applied in opposite to each other, the total momentum of the object before collision and total momentum after collision will be same. So the magnitude of total final momentum is equal to magnitude of total initial momentum, and this is called, that is the law of conservation of momentum. When no external force acts on two interacting objects, so these are interacting with each other, no force, extra force is not there acting on these objects, they are only hitting each other, colliding each other, no external force is acting on that. When no external force acts on two interacting objects, the total momentum remains constant. That is called the law of conservation of momentum, or its corollary to the third law of motion. When, or it is written in this way also, when two objects collide, the total momentum before collision is equal to the total momentum after collision. Now one more example. Now we take the example of, just now I have told you, a bullet is fired from the gun. Initially the velocity of the bullet as well as the gun is 0. Initial velocity is 0. The total initial momentum will be, this factor will be 0. The bullet, when bullet is fired, the gun is moved backwards, that is called the recoil, and that is called the velocity of recoil, that is v2. I have just now told you, because both are having, bullet and gun, initial velocity is equal to 0, this factor will become 0. So m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is equal to 0. So m2 v2 is equal, this will go to this side, minus m1 v1, equal and opposite. So v2 is equal to this, m2 will be here, that is it is in the division, minus m1 v1, minus m1 upon m2 into v1, and this is called the, this factor total is called the velocity of recoil. Now this, that is action and reaction, the vehicles are launched in the, or satellites are launched, the force same, that is the law which is applied here, the action and reaction force. Now up till now, whatever written on the board, whatever laws we have studied, whatever derivations we have solved, that you have to write in your notebooks. There are also solved examples in the book. That solved examples you have to solve at home. The examples which are unsolved, that is in question number 7, 2 examples I will take and 2 examples you have to solve. There are different solved examples that you can solve at your home. In question number 7, there are 4 examples, A, B, C, D. A and D, they are exactly similar. B, A and B I am going to solve. C, you have to solve at your home. That depends on momentum. Now what is given, what is the problem, or what is the numerical? Object moves 18 meter in the first 3 seconds, 22 meters in second 3 seconds, and 14 meter in third 3 seconds. Means in each 3 seconds it is covering 18 meter distance, 22 meter distance. S is distance or displacement that we know now, and 14 meter. Is it uniform motion? Not at all, it is non-uniform motion. So average speed, you have calculate the average speed. Average speed is equal to total distance covered divided by total time taken. Total distance, now add it, 18 plus 22 plus 14 divided by 3 plus 3 plus 3. So 54 divided by 9 is equal to 6 meter per second. So such types of examples can be asked for 2 marks. If you remember well the formula, calculate well, you will get 2 marks. It is compulsory. 1 or 2 problems can be asked in the examination. Now what is second? An object of mass 16 kg. What is given, that you have to write that mass of the object, suppose m1 is 16 kg, is moving with an acceleration of 3 meter per second square. Means A is given 3 meter per second square. Then what is asked? Calculate the applied force. F is asked. Now you know the formula, F is equal to m into A. Again one second part is there in this problem. If the same force is applied on an object of mass 24 kilogram, another object of 24 kilogram, same force, whatever force you calculate here, same force is applied on another object, what will be the acceleration? Very easy. See, if you read carefully, write carefully whatever given in that problem, then you can easily solve it, and if you know the formula. So formula you know, F is equal to ma. I have written here m1a, one object. So F is m1 is 16 into 3, that is 48 Newton. And now what is asked? If the same force is applied on the object of mass 24 kilogram, then what will be the acceleration? So force is 48 that we have calculated. Mass of the object, second object, is 24 kilogram. What is the acceleration? So A is equal to, here 24 will be here divided by 40. 48 divided by 24. A is equal to 48 divided by 24. That is equal to 2 meter per second square. Now the third example is depending on the momentum. Fourth example is just like the first example. So you can solve it in your notebook. Goodbye.